Welcome to the Lakeshow podcast presented by Jack in the Box. It's a weekly deep dive into the biggest stories and topics surrounding the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm Allie Clifton, joined by our Laker insider Mike Bresnahan and Khobi Price, Lakers beat writer for the SoCal News Group, who is leaving town in a hot minute.
With 5 suitcases.
You confused both Allie and me. I missed your initial reaction. My initial reaction was, are you going to the Olympics? What are you doing with 8 suitcases?
Yep.
I mean, Khobi,
everybody thinks I'm going to the Olympics.
Yeah.
Which I guess I understand if you saw the amount of bags I had. But no, I'm going to Chicago, going back to the crib, and I plan on bringing some personal items back with me that, I haven't been able to bring back with me to LA over the years. I was telling Allie, I moved to Florida and I drove, and everything I could fit in the car, that's what came with me.
That's it. Okay.
So it's over time, I try to bring back more stuff that, wasn't able to make the first original trip moving away. So.
But Allie, these are not small little duffel bags.
Well,
these are giant. These are the biggest suitcases I've seen in a long time.
So we were in the makeup room, and I haven't seen Khobi since the draft. I saw you at the draft.
True, yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So it's been a minute, and he came in, he said hello, and then he said, do you mind if I leave my suitcases out by your desk because I'm going on a flight after this? And I was like, oh, yeah. And I automatically thought, oh, are you going to Paris? Are you going to the Olympics? Hadn't seen the suitcases, said suitcases. So then I proceed to go out there, and I did. I was like, my God, where are you going?
Yeah.
And for how long?
And it's silly for us to say, oh, you going to the Olympics for a few weeks? You have enough bags to move somewhere for 3 years. And like I said, the quality and the quantity of the bags is really amazing.
Look, Southwest, they let you take 2 free check bags.
All right.
That's my...
That looked like 8 check bags you're going to have, though.
You get 2 free check bags on Southwest, so I hope they keep this. They're gonna hear this and be like, oh, we need to cut it down. No, please do not. Southwest, keep this going. Because, this is the right that I have, so I'm going to take advantage of it. That's why I can bring stuff back without shipping it. You gotta, think ahead.
Smart man.
Yeah.
I'm a loyal Delta flyer. You're Southwest, I'll be Delta. And having said that, I can't tell you the last time I checked a bag. It is my sole mission in life to avoid checking a bag at all costs. And so when I saw his suitcases,
You were mortified.
Mortified. What time do you have to get to the airport?
You had a
This is also
seizure.
another question that I have.
What time does it get to the airport?
Your flight leaves at what time? And you are there how many?
5:55.
That's when your flight leaves?
5.
Hang on a second. Your flight leaves at 5:55?
Yeah.
It's 4:05.
I'll be fine. This is a lovely. I have.
And you have to check 9 bags. We never get the show on the road.
Do you know a sky cap? Are you
for
connected?
people who I don't actually have 9 bags because people are going to be so concerned.
Oh, it's close to that. I stopped counting after 7. So,
but they're light. They're light too. So it's going to make.
There's nothing in them right now.
Yeah, basically, there's one bag. I promise you, there's 5 pounds worth of stuff. It's literally because I'm going to bring I could pack all the stuff in the bags into one bag, but I need to spread it out. So I have enough room to bring stuff back with me. I already have things in mind bringing.
Sir, we are approaching 4:07. You're not sweating right now?
I'm not sweating.
Do you have a ride to the airport?
Yeah. Okay. Right to the airport, I have Clear, which is going to.
Oh, you're going straight there.
Oh yeah. Oh no, this is
Is there curbside at Southwest for your bags outside? I am very, very invested in this.
Yeah. Can we go with you?
Yeah. Shall we go with you?
Just to the gate.
Just to the gate.
Just to make sure you get there?
If you guys want to, we can make this a trip.
Just to the check-in
desk. The podcast on the road, and we're just gonna hear all the honking.
Ayo, it's called road tripping. Just kidding.
Placement.
My fault. I'm stepping on your toes. That's completely.
Yes, you are. Back off with your 9 suitcases. We're gonna dive into all Lakers stuff so that you can get to the airport, my friend. My goodness.
I live life.
I love you cutting it close. I would do the exact same thing.
Did you hear that?
What do you say?
He lives life on the edge.
Not really.
Yeah?
Just only with flying. That's the one thing that I'll actually do it with, which is probably not the best thing. But
you might set the monthly record for most bags checked by one person, and there's no sweat. You seem totally fine. You seem totally unperturbed. You're not nervous at all. I'm really proud of you right now.
Will you take your makeup off before you go to the airport?
So I was actually thinking about this. I was looking the makeup on. I was like, wow, probably not.
That's another couple minutes.
Yeah.
No, it's another couple. Time can't be wasted, and
you never know who you're going to meet in the airport.
I hope you got a Yukon coming to pick you up, or a Toyota Tundra, because you're going to need the extra space for all your luggage.
Well, my friends.
Good start.
The Olympics. Let's touch there because
where we thought Khobi was going.
Where we thought Khobi was going. We talked about it on the show yesterday. LeBron James and now Coco Gauff have been voted by their fellow Olympians to be the Team USA flag bearers at the opening ceremony on Friday in Paris. Congrats to the both of them. For LeBron, he's the first men's basketball player to carry the flag for Team USA. Women's basketball have been represented in this category. Sue Bird in 2020 and Dawn Staley back in 2004. Kind of adding this to his legacy, to his resume. How big is it?
It's huge. Have you done the Olympics? Either one of you ever covered an Olympics? I did it once, and you don't really understand the importance until you're on site. And then you realize it's a huge story. Who's going to be the flag bearer for the U.S.? And I was over in England when I did it. And it's like, okay, who's going to be? And it is so big. It is so symbolic. Obviously, the U.S., a massive delegation, every Olympics as well. So the fact that LeBron was one of the two to be selected, I mean, that's a huge, huge deal. And I'm a huge Olympics guy. I shared with you the other day, Allie, that I actually took a class on a history of the Olympics when I was still in college. And yeah, like this is a big deal from I consider myself somewhat of an Olympic historian. This is a big deal. Good job for LeBron, and of course for Coco Gauff. Great. It's cool. It's just cool for both of them to be able to say, you know what? And by the way, they're probably going to win some medals too, I think. But at least they can say we were the flag bearers. It's a big deal, Khobi.
You said you took an Olympics history class?
I did.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I worked really hard for it. Like I didn't see I avoided my college counselor until my 5th year. Yes, I was at a public school for 5 years. And going into the 5th, I went to see them. I'm like, hi, I'm here. Giant school, University of Wisconsin. Not like they knew me by name, but they're like, oh, this is your first trip to visit us. And I was a poli-sci major. I said, yeah, I feel like I got all the credits I need. I'll be done in 1 semester here. I'll be done in 4.5 years, right? And they said, yeah, and some good news for you. If you take a 3-credit history course, there's so much overlap between poli-sci and history, you could be a double major. So I said, fantastic. Who doesn't want to be a double major?
Fantastic.
So I took history of the Olympics. That was my history course. I got a history degree as well, thanks to history of the Olympics. So
there's so many questions I'm gonna ask you. Like I want to ask you now, just like pick your brain on. But
on your way to the airport, call me.
I won't have much time. But no, this is to your point. This is incredible. I mean, to LeBron's legacy. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those like, how much more can he add at this point? But this is one of those things that I mean, personally, I never thought of. Like honestly, like I didn't like my knowledge of the Olympics isn't like the greatest, so I don't really think like, oh, who's gonna be the flag bearer each time the Olympics come around. But when you just look at it, the people who they choose, it's a big deal. Like, I mean, now I'm saying this to someone who's just realizing, like, obviously it's been a big deal before this, but I realize just how significant this is, and for him and Coco to get the nods for this group for this year, it's incredible. Yeah. It's absolutely incredible.
Especially for him, as it sounds, him mentioning with the Olympics being here in LA in 2028, he says he will not be in the city. So you imagine this will be his last Olympics. So to be able to have that honor, and it's kind of like a stamp.
The only bigger honor, Allie and Khobi, is who's going to light the torch. And because it's in Paris, it's not going to be a U.S. athlete, obviously. But that's a big deal too.
Did that come out?
I don't know if it's out yet.
Carrier?
I don't know.
Is lighting the torch and carrying the torch the same thing?
No, you carry it perhaps for the last, quarter mile, if that, 1/8 of a mile.
Did I get fooled? Because I thought I saw
it might be out
yesterday.
There. I actually don't know. It might have been announced yesterday or today. I haven't seen it yet. But, plus this whole thing is unique because the parade to the stadium is going to be on the Seine River. There's going to be a bunch of boats with teams in them. I'm guessing the U.S. is going to need a couple boats. But the whole thing is just so incredibly crazy. And the Olympics likes to keep a lot of this under wraps. So I think
yeah, it's real. Snoop Dogg.
Really?
Snoop Dogg to light up Paris 2024 as Olympic torchbearer.
So much
18 hours ago.
So much for needing to be...
I saw this, but I'm like, did I get fooled by a random...
Hey,
wait, that's real, right?
Well, if it's real, so much for it needing to be a...
Okay.
Yeah, this is real, yeah.
So much for my theory needs to be a French athlete. It's Snoop. Oh, that's great.
That's
awesome?
Really
cool. That's really cool.
That's really cool.
Like one of my enduring images is when Muhammad Ali, with Parkinson's really racking his body at the time, lighting the Olympic torch. And that was just one of the images that really crystallized my love for the Olympics. It's been a while since that happened, but... excuse me, I feel like they always pick the perfect athlete to A, be the flag bearer, and B, to light the torch. Or in this case, non-athlete. Well, I guess Snoop's an athlete. His son played college football, right? He's got some athleticism.
It's Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, it's Snoop, period.
Snoop Dogg.
I like it. I endorse it.
What Snoop does, Snoop. And what Snoop says, he does, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone says, You want Snoop Dogg for it? Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to take him at his word. That's great, though.
Okay, so obviously that'll be happening this weekend. All of that, the Olympics beginning. Let's touch a little bit on the Lakers. What's been your thought so far?
It's been
Off-season.
a quieter offseason than I expected. Well, okay. Well, not the entire offseason. The past 3 to 4 weeks have been quieter than I expected, really since the draft. I mean, obviously, this offseason starts with, the Darvin Ham firing, the Dan Hurley saga, whatever you want to refer to it as, then eventually hiring J.J. Redick, the draft. Like, the first 8 or so weeks of the offseason were very, at least from my perspective, were just, there's a lot going on. Once you get past the draft, you get to Summer League, it really got to start to quieting down. Obviously, the Lakers haven't added anybody, so that's significant. Or outside of the rookies, haven't signed anybody. That's significant, but, I mean, obviously there's so much more of the offseason left. We still have another, 2+ months until training camp, so more can still happen, but it does feel like, this quiet that we're experiencing right now is probably going to last over the next couple months.
Yeah, I remember one year when I was at the LA Times, there was Lamar Odom was kind of like holding out a little bit, and the Lakers were kind of not giving him what he wanted. I'm not going to blame Lamar at all. It was a long, protracted negotiation that I believe bled into August. But if you're this late in the game, like if you are really 3.5 weeks into July, I think you've seen all the big signings. I feel like this is it. I mean, the Lakers could, arrange for a trade. There's not a whole lot left, is what I'm trying to say. So, unless there's a trade they're kind of working on and they're thinking about. I'm with you, Khobi. I think what you see is what you get. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of familiar faces on the Laker roster next season. And yet, at the same time, the front office can say, well, Jared Vanderbilt and Gabe Vincent, between the two of them, they played 35 regular season games. Welcome to your new Lakers. In case you forgot about Vanderbilt, how important he was when he was acquired a couple years ago, and Gabe Vincent and the excitement that I know I had when the Lakers signed him last year.
Same.
For good value too, under the average contract price, 3 years, $33 million. I could see this being the how the Lakers are approaching the season. We're getting 2 guys back that we're supposed to be pretty key players that we got really next to nothing out of game-wise last season.
I know we're going to touch on the comments. I believe I read that with, KCP and going on Draymond's podcast. But just for a little bit of context, with that said, to this question, running back with the same team as last year, you hear that coming from that locker room. I know the Lakers didn't get the job done.
Yeah.
But what's your confidence level that this team could finish top 6 in the West? Or do you feel like there will be a move?
I mean, they're
still within
top 6 in the West. I mean, once you get really past, so how I look at it is that everybody talks about the top 4, or the perceived top 4: Denver, OKC, Dallas, Minnesota. And how this always goes, I mean, you guys know this as well. There's always a team that underperforms. There's always a team that overperforms, just depending on the year. I think you could say OKC was the team that last year that overperformed. You could say Minnesota was, and their teams that underperformed.
You could even say Dallas was.
Exactly. Right. Even Dallas. You could say 3 of the top 4 teams overperform. So it's good. Like, there's how we see the standings right now is probably not how it's going to finish. So for the Lakers to get to top 6, it's feasible. They finished 8th last year, but they weren't that far off of 7. And I guess they went to the playoffs of 7 because of the playing game. But to get top 6, they're going to have there's work to do. I mean, if you compare them to the rest, like, they still have to hop over Phoenix. Sacramento's had their number this past season, but top 6 should be, I mean, to me, I know they're going to say top 4, top 3, but top 6 should be the goal to just avoid the play-in. I mean, I know that's been their fate the past, 3 of the last 4 years?
3 of the last 4 years. They won the championship, and in the 4 years since then, they failed to make the playoffs once. Yeah. The 3 times they're in the play-in tournament. That's a hard path.
It is a hard path.
It's a really hard path. Now, they did really well 2 years ago, beating 2 higher-seeded teams. Good job. And then you face Denver. You're probably a little tired, played a lot of extra games on the road, and boom, you don't win 1 game against Denver 2 seasons ago. Last season, it was just, instant, death against Denver right away. You win 1 playoff game. So, yeah, to me, the path to get to, you want to be top 4. I always say that, no matter who the team is. I'm with you, Khobi. I think the top 4 is probably already settled. Sacramento, I kind of like what they did. I mean, I don't know how it's going to work defensively with DeMar DeRozan, but he's got some punch offensively. I think they might be the 5, And then I think the Lakers, they do need to be top 6. Avoid the play-in tournament. Rest up. That's the other thing, Allie. Rest up during that week. If you lose your first play-in tournament game, you got to play another one a couple days later. You just have to think about basketball that entire week. And again, 2 years ago, no problem. Won the first round against Memphis, a team that we all kind of thought was a little overrated at the time. Won the second round against still a very good Golden State team. Congrats. But a lot of fatigue built up in those 2 rounds. Then finally you get a well-rested Denver team. Didn't have to play any play-in games, coasted pretty much the entire regular season, and we saw what happened. So get to the top 4 if you can.
I mean, you even mentioned Memphis. Like, that's a team that even I was speaking, I almost forgot. But we had to remember that the 2 seasons before this past season, when it was just the worst season imaginable, they were back-to-back 50-win teams. I think they won 56 3 seasons ago, and 51.
They were the 2 seed when the Lakers beat them 2 years ago. 2 seasons ago. Yeah,
they've shown that at least. I know the roster's changed a little bit, but that's a team that you have to take for real. Like, a lot of their issues has been injuries in the playoffs, whether it was the Golden State second round in 2022, and then even when the Lakers beat them in the first round 2 seasons ago. So it's going to be tough. Like, you should ask me about confidence. I mean, I'm kind of in the middle with them because.
I guess, too, with that said, is there we've been talking about it a lot. Unless you make trades, there's the roster's filled at this point. So with that said, we also heard if there is a way to upgrade the roster, JJ mentioning a big bruising 5-man. Yeah. Is there one position that you look at it with the roster and think this is where they need?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I do believe that the backup big spot is something that could show up. I mean, whether it's backup big or adding a big to start alongside AD. I know that Wendell Carter Jr. has been a name mentioned, rumored to the Lakers. Rumored to the Lakers. I do as well. Covered him for a little bit. Good dude, but whether it's starting another big man to start alongside AD, more fortified backup 5, that's the position, and then any team could use more two-way wings. Like, that's just the more two-way wings. Yeah. Like, that the more you can get, you can never have too many. Yeah. And if you have too many, get more. That's just the landscape of the NBA. Look at Boston. Look at what New York just did. Look at the Knicks just did. They said, we got OG and Anunoby in the trade deadline or before the trade deadline. Awesome. We're gonna get Mikal Bridges now. You can never have too many of those kind of players.
New York is like, they have a point guard, they have a power forward in Julius Randle as well, and then they have 9 athletic wings, like you're describing.
Josh Hart, DiVincenzo.
They have more athletic wings than you have suitcases in our newsroom right now.
I don't know about all that. They're lacking compared to my suitcase game.
Speaking of suitcase, we need to get to the commercial break because someone's got to get to his airplane.
Don't stress about my plane. You should totally calm and cool.
We're
team
players here. Remember, you can be part of the show each week. Feel free to send us your questions and comments. We'd love to hear from you. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, it's a round of bucket or brick, and they are moving for you. Welcome back to the Lakeshow podcast presented by Jack in the Box. If you're enjoying the show, you can check out more original podcasts from our Spectrum News journalists on the Spectrum News app. Just head to the podcast section to listen to the latest episodes. You can download the Spectrum News app on the App Store or Google Play. Time now for a round of bucket or brick presented by Jack in the Box. Hey, Rui Hachimura with 29 points in Japan's latest Olympics tune-up game. Bucket or brick, Rui will be the 3rd highest scoring Laker next season. I love this question.
Do I can actually just...
You can do whatever you want. Bucket or brick.
What do you mean, can you do what?
Brick.
Have you played this game before?
This is my first time on the show, on the podcast.
Oh my gosh, I apologize.
So yeah, that's why I just threw the...
He's a quick learner.
Yeah,
okay, so bucket or brick. If you agree with my sentiment, you...
I bricked
bucket it. If you disagree, you bucket it. Or brick it.
Yeah, I bricked it. That's why the brick's on the... Yeah, no, I disagree. I think AD, LeBron, and Austin Reeves will be...
Austin Reeves
will be the 3 leading scorers for the Lakers this upcoming season. Or finish the season as the leading scorers.
I'm going to brick it. Same mindset. I think it's not going to be Rui. I think it's D'Lo again. I mean, what do the Lakers need? Obviously, we just talked about how they need a backup big with some beef. They also need some volume shooting, and that's what D'Lo provides. He's going to jack up 7 or 8 threes every game, make probably 3 of them, and everybody's happy. Yeah, so I think he's going to get a lot of points. I think he's again in a contract year, so he'll be hungry too. I think he's a 3rd leading scorer.
Taking our conversation from the first half of the podcast to where we are now, KCP said the Nuggets had no gas and felt like the Lakers should have beaten them in the playoffs.
What?
Bucket or brick, the Lakers let the series slip through their fingers. He told Draymond on his podcast. Yeah.
It was
He obviously is in Orlando now.
Right.
So, KCP.
I'm going to break it. Look, there were some really close calls there, but it just goes back to the fact that it was 4-1. And the Lakers, again, had to play an extra game in the play-in tournament. That one was pretty close too. I mean, good for them for winning on the road in New Orleans. But if Zion didn't get hurt in the last couple minutes, Lakers might have had to play another play-in tournament game. What I'm trying to say is maybe if it was 4-3, maybe you can even argue 4-2, but 4-1. KCP might be being generous to his old teammates, the Lakers, and not his old teammates, the Nuggets.
I'm also going to break this. I'm fast learning right here. Yeah, I do agree. I mean, obviously with the 4-1 series, you can say, oh, yeah, I mean, you look at the deficit or look at the scoring margin. It was
close games.
For 4-1, yeah, they were very close
No doubt.
games. There were also things that the Lakers just didn't do well enough in the first few games where, I mean, yes, the Nuggets could have been gassed, could have been burnt from chasing the 1 seed and not getting it. At the same time, the Lakers, especially early on in the series, they just didn't do enough to turn the series in their favor. I mean, yes, Jamal Murray hits 2 game winners. That changes the landscape of the series, but at the same time, there was other things the Lakers could have done much better.
Totally
on both
with
ends
you.
of the floor, but especially offensively.
I'm preparing for our 4th bucket or brick, but before that, Paul George said he felt like he was on the B team during his time with the Clippers.
great.
Bucket or brick, Clips will always be LA's B team. This is really easy, guys.
Yeah, this is an absolute bucket. I'm guessing for both of us, Kobe's cocking back and doing a tomahawk over there. Yeah, I mean, sorry, guys. You can move into a new stadium. You can get 3 All-Stars like they had with Kawhi, Paul George, and Harden. And, it's just not going to happen, guys. 17-0. Tough reality. Sorry.
I don't know the ins and outs of all of this, but this is the final bucket or brick. But I do have the
Kobe's
latest
gotta go.
that just came out.
Oh, yeah, I tomahawked
dunked
it
already.
just
Because if he would have bricked it, I would have told him to get out
double windmill.
in his 9 suitcases.
Yes.
Just
I love how you're trying to get Kobe out the door. And by the way, time check, it's 4:27. So what, your flight leaves at 5:55 or boards at 5:55?
leave.
Okay, I am someone, back to this, that I walk into the airport and I want to walk right onto the plane, okay? But with doing that, especially here in this city, the rule of thumb is what?
It's delayed to 6:05, Trey? Oh, Kobe.
So that means
10 more minutes of the
been delayed
podcast for you, sir.
at 6
Oh, my flight's been
6:05.
delayed? Of course it is.
He doesn't
It's
even care. He doesn't even know.
No, I do care. But you know what?
Do
It's
you even
Southwest.
know how to get to LAX?
I do know how to get to LA. It's Southwest. I knew the flight was going to delay. This is what they do.
Okay.
This is a bad. Okay, my
So,
bad.
no, you're good. So if you leave at 6:05 now, what time do you board?
I'm checking right now. It's going to take you 14 minutes from our El Segundo studio.
5 what?
5:35.
5:35?
You don't.
So you need to be out the door by 4:35. That's my rule of thumb.
Don't.
Everyone is worried except the guy that has to get on the airplane. Everyone's sweating bullets.
I'm not worried.
Trainer's on the flight tracker.
I appreciate the concern. I really do. It's gonna be okay.
Will you send us a selfie at the freaking concourse eating your
and I'll send a selfie with California Pizza Kitchen in my hand.
As your flight is already up in the air, telling us that you're on the next flight.
We prefer a little Jack in the Box, but you know,
Yeah, we like Jack in the Box.
Jack in the Box, that's fair.
Having said that,
producer Trainer is on the phone with a Southwest rep who will meet you at the curb, so you should you're fine. Yeah. And
Southwest is about to sponsor us. Okay, this is the last one.
yeah.
So for those of you that are in tune with the TV rights deal, which will take place not going into this upcoming season, but the following. As of yesterday, TNT matched the Amazon bid offer. But,
well, maybe.
Shenanigans.
it just came out. Here's the question, first and foremost. The NBA has rejected TNT's offer after they matched it for a new media rights deal, meaning this will likely be the last season of Inside the NBA on TNT. Before I say bucket or brick, TNT Sports statement on NBA media rights, their PR just put out. We have matched the Amazon offer as we have a contractual right to do and do not believe the NBA can reject it. So basically, they're going to sue the NBA.
Here we go.
So buckle up. It's spicy. Bucket or brick. There will never be another show like Inside. We actually could ask that question.
Go ahead, Coco.
Except our show.
Except, yeah, exactly. But they can't beat your show, so that's where it comes from.
I'm kidding.
No, it is going to be weird not having Inside just as like an institution.
Yeah.
But I can't lie to you. Like when I heard before the show, I went on Twitter and I saw, or X rather, and I went to, I think it was NBC's page, and they had like the advertisement for like NBA's back. And when it dun, 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 I was like, oh my gosh. I forgot
that part's cool.
I was like, oh my gosh.
You're too young to know that song.
No, I'm not, because that was also the song for NBA Jam. Thank you very much. Was it not?
Okay.
I'm pretty
So you know all those songs, but you don't know how to get to the airport on time. Gosh. Who is this guy?
On time to the airport is a relative term. Thank you very much.
Touche. And I'm usually in your corner.
Yeah, you
I don't
usually
like
are.
sitting there.
I feel like you're so concerned for me. I promise you. Actually, I will say LAX has been the best airport for me. It's other airports I've
Knock
had
on wood.
No one has ever said that.
Someone find wood and knock really hard.
This is brick, but we'll.
Brick.
I grew up out here, and no one has ever said LAX is my favorite airport. Is that what you just said?
No, I said it's been good to me. I've had worse luck at other airports.
Okay.
It's not my favorite, but
they're making moves to fix it,
The
which I
traffic
appreciate.
at LAX is worse than dry turkey on Thanksgiving.
that's why.
Guys, are you bucketing or bricking so we can get this guy on the road?
This is actually a great question by producer Jordan. I assume he did these. I'm gonna. What was the question?
Yeah, there will
again?
never be a show, another show like Inside.
I'm gonna break it. And here's
What
why.
show are you watching?
When people ask me my two favorite pre and post game shows, absolutely TNT basketball is on it. But I also like the ESPN morning college football guys. Lee Corso, Kirk Herbstreit. I
College
think a
Game
couple
Day.
of those guys, College Game Day.
Yeah.
Desmond Howard. I mean, those guys crack me up. You know, here's the thing. I love college football. I bleed college football. Always have, always will. So to me, it's a two-way tie for first. So, you know, when ESPN, when Lee Corso retires, which is probably in the next year or two, I'll be sad. But I'm actually really sad if TNT does indeed go away. It's, God, I love those guys. And all the people around
so
it, too.
funny.
We, you know, get to know some of the directors, some of the producers, some of the PR people over the years. They'll be missed if indeed this is their last year. No doubt about it.
Khobi, one more question. Did you tell anyone that your flight was at
4:32
5:55, or
p.m.
did you show up here with 9 suitcases and everyone was like, where are you going? You're like, oh, I have a flight in an hour.
the latter.
We could have moved the podcast up for you, sir.
I'm not that special. It's not.
Yeah, I was like messing around in the
You're
makeup
about to
room.
be special
I was
when you
like,
miss this flight.
You know, you're actually making that laugh. This is first spot hazing. You don't speak
need
it
a
into
poll.
existence. Don't speak it into existence.
No, I think you're going to make it, but you're going to be sweating bullets. You're going to be eating your food on the plane, and half of your luggage is going to make it to
That's how I
Chicago.
prefer. I prefer to be sweating as I go onto the plane.
Sick.
And make everyone else around me uncomfortable. I'm
Rude.
joking.
I hope you got a middle seat too.
People
need
are
a
gonna hear
poll.
this podcast hear me on this podcast, so they're gonna like the worst impression
What
of
a
me.
jerk.
But I'm
Actually,
okay with that.
And actually, Khobi's a very, very good addition to our shows, Allie. It's our first year with you on our shows. You've been awesome.
I appreciate
How
it.
long are
You
you
deserve a
going
nice
for?
vacation. And
Just
with
a
your
little
11
week.
bags.
So are you driving or are you Ubering?
Ubering.
From here,
Did Trainer order your Uber so it's outside for you?
Jordan, trainer. No, we're a little
gonna
nervous in
be
here.
How's the flight tracker?
Because you know it's Southwest. My flight's gonna get delayed till 8:05 anyway.
6:05 still?
Still
We got a 10-minute
6:05.
delay.
Yeah. Well, that's
we,
all. That's surprising.
So we should probably keep Khobi here for another 10 minutes since he's getting 10 minutes extra
I'm getting
on
10
the,
minute
on the jetway there.
Do you have something else you would like to talk about? Because all I can think about is him running to his gate.
I would run to my gate regardless.
Khobi, bring us through your
Why?
history. What made you want to become a journalist? Like,
Yeah, we
was
definitely
it
need an
high
update.
school or college?
Also, I'm gonna send you a picture of me in front of the gate, and
Please
so
do.
you guys can all relax, all take it.
How's the
Actually,
control
the
room?
second
Are
you
they
leave this
freaking out
building,
too?
I won't worry about it.
won't worry about it,
It's
yeah.
out of my hands, but I'll feel really bad if you miss
Jordan,
it.
producer Jordan, are you under control in there? You've had a good podcast so far. Is everyone okay in there? Okay, good.
Beautiful.
Are you?
Maybe it's just you and me, Allie. Nacho, are you feeling the heat? No, Nacho's like, I don't even know what he's doing.
Nacho doesn't like jelly.
What?
That's a fair statement. We'll end the podcast with this. Are you an Uncrustable guy?
No, because I'm allergic to peanut butter.
Oh, you have a nut allergy too?
I have a peanut butter allergy. No, just
No.
peanut
You
butter
have a nut
allergy.
allergy too that doesn't like to get to the airport on time. My God, traveling with 9 suitcases.
We have learned a lot
So-
about you today, Khobi.
You learned more about me today than like the previous 4 shows I've been on.
Yeah.
So
This is
what
incredible. Podcast
peanut
format.
butter can you eat? Version of peanut butter.
I eat almond butter. Well, I haven't had almond butter in a while, but that's like my substitute. I will eat almond butter.
The almond butter from Lazy Acres that's
Ooh.
like dry roasted with cinnamon.
Ooh, hold on a sec.
Wait, lazy
gonna write
acres.
this down.
Homemade.
Whoa.
Homemade. Lazy Acres is in the opposite direction of LAX. So when
please.
you come back,
Okay, when I come back, all right.
we'll tell you about it.
Oh wait. Oh, okay. I need to wait. Laser. All right.
Okay, they do have
With cinnamon, you
Uncrustables,
said?
I believe, with almond butter.
They do.
Do they? No, it's the hazelnut butter. I don't know. Are you grape or strawberry? That's my point.
I'm getting converted to strawberry, but I've always been a grape guy.
Have you two ever had Goop or grape? You know what it is?
Oh, yes.
So good. It's
Can they
the
sponsor me?
grape jam and the peanut
jelly
butter
all in the jar?
all in one jar.
Goobers.
Yeah, you get the peanut butter and the
And you
jelly
basically
in
just
one
take a
jar.
spoon and you just eat it.
Yeah.
It's without the calories.
It got me
without
through
the carbs.
college.
See,
That and
like
ramen.
the thing with it's what peanut butter.
Peanut butter and grape jam. Yeah.
So like peanut butter, when I've had it before, and it tastes like toxic to me because of the allergies so bad. Like when I taste it, I immediately is like, oh, this is like
Not
going
good.
against my body. Like my body's just like rejecting.
You're allergic
it.
to it.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like people are like, oh, peanut butter is so great. It's like to me, like I know what it tastes like, but it's also it makes me go like scrunch my face. Like
I used to sit in my dorm room in college and eat dip Cheez-Its in peanut butter. I say all that to say, Nacho said when I asked him, are you grape or strawberry? He said, I don't like jelly.
Nacho, why do you hate fun? What's wrong with you?
so would you?
What do you like? Orange marmalade?
Marmalade?
What's,
I was just going to say marmalade. Apple butter?
Are you like an 89-year-old woman?
Apple
like,
butter.
We got to wrap
That's
this
great.
up
I mean,
because you have to
Jesus.
get to a flight, my
Orange
friend.
marmalade?
Khobi, it has been great seeing you and your 9 suitcases, and I wish you so much
It has been a blast.
So
This
much
has been fun.
goodness on your way to the airport.
Maybe I'll grab some almond. I'll make him run over there.
Do not have an emergency landing in like Albuquerque. Do not do it.
Will he make it? Tune in next week on the Lakeshow podcast.
If I don't ever
we will
come back
discuss.
on this show, that probably means I missed my
Well, no
flight.
lie.
And I just got lost somewhere.
Doesn't mean you can't
wait.
come back if you miss your
Well,
flight,
I mean,
dude.
I just got lost. Just couldn't.
I just heard AJ will pay for your ticket change if you're late. So I just heard that
Well,
from the
I'm
from
not
the room.
moving it
The
up.
lesson we learned here is communicate, and people would be able to help you out. And we would do the Lakeshow podcast a little bit earlier.
It's all good. It's all good.
He seems so calm. I love it.
It's all good.
All right.
This is
Order Uber,
Nacho
my
hates
friend.
jelly
Thanks to
and
you for
fun.
listening to the Lakeshow podcast, presented by Jack in the Box. If you like what you hear, leave a rating and review on your favorite podcast app. We want to hear from you. Send us your questions. Hit us up on X at Allie Clifton, at Mike_Bresnahan, and at Khobi_Price. Follow his flight tracker. Until next week.
God,
At
an
Gator
hour
Tree.
18 to get there.